Welcome back to Extra Part of the Hammer Betting Network, presented by FanDuel. I'm Zack Phillips, joined by Alex Moretto and Matt Alber. Moretto, that you notice how quick that one ended up?
Yes, very abruptly.
There's always like a sound that plays, and I know it's coming because I'm not looking directly at it and want to stare at myself on the screen so I can time that, and then all of a sudden it just doesn't happen. I'm like, whoa, fuck! All right, here we go. All right.
I think after 3 months, you'd be used to popping up on the screen after the video entrance.
I know, but there's a sound. Did it not happen for you? Maybe it didn't happen for Alber. I don't know, but
I didn't notice anything different.
We'll get into today's games, get into our best bets. We'll answer questions from the chat. We'll dig into all that kind of stuff. Before we do anything, it's only right, it's only fair. Another victory for the Montreal Canadiens last night. A 5-4 overtime victory for Les Habitants. And they are currently sitting in a playoff spot. Moretto, the floor is yours. Habs Talk Radio. Let's hear it.
Where's so money? Where is he? Can't even show his face today.
He's ditching you all week. He knew this was going to happen.
Look, the Rangers went through a lull, and all of a sudden, Alber wasn't here for like a month. Now the Canucks are losing to the Habs, and so money's not here. I don't know. These guys can't face the music. It's really unfortunate to see. I was here slandering our head coach when we were shit. Some people just don't have the stones to do that. So it is what it is. What a game last night, though. I don't know if you guys watched that game. That was a lot of fun. Prime,
I can confirm I did not watch the Canucks play the Canucks.
Prime delivering a nice broadcast. I'm just watching a highlight right over here. It just popped on my Twitter feed. Man, Lane Hutson's unbelievable. This, at what point do we start talking Hutson Calder as like a realistic thing? I don't know what he has to do to actually get the votes over Celebrini. Like, I understand that so Hutson is the rookie leader in points right now. But like Celebrini did miss time, obviously. So like Hutson would obviously not be the rookie leader in points if Celebrini didn't miss the time he did. That's like, we can say that very confidently. But like Hutson's also a defenseman. I mean, I don't know. He didn't play power play minutes or first power play for a long time. Took him until like mid-December, early December to get on that PP1. I mean, I think there's some value there. Like, I don't know, the way he's growing into the game, even like his defensive game is ticking up, and like he is dominating every time he touches the puck. He's making something happen. Like there's games where he should have like 3-4 points where he's setting up backdoor tap-ins, like Gallagher's missing an empty net and guys just aren't ready. It's like they don't even expect the pass to somehow get to them. Like Hutson has this way of like threading things through like 4 guys, and guys are like surprised that the puck even finds their tape. I don't know. I think on a better team, he might even have like 40 points right now. He'd be up towards a point per game. This is it's crazy to see how he has progressed and how this team has progressed, because this is like they won 4 of their first like 15 games, and they were like a -25 goal differential. They were getting blown out of the building on most nights. It was pathetic. This was pretty much unthinkable like 3 weeks ago to go on this road trip. They had like won a few games against like Buffalo, Detroit, the back against Detroit, and it was like, all right, like you're beating a couple bad teams. Like there's nothing to really take from this. Now you're about to go on this long road trip over the break and probably get shelled and come back and be kind of right back where you were before that little mini streak. And then to go in and beat the last 4 cup champs on the road. And then to come back home, first game back after a long road trip, which is typically like a very tough spot for teams. And to go out there and do what they did last night, to fall behind 3-1 and stay in that game and battle back and win that game. It says a lot about this team. I think that there's going to be a lot of spots to back them going forward, because clearly the market still doesn't like them. Even last night, they didn't fully get the support. They closed around like +115 after Hughes was announced in, and they were the better team, pretty like considerably the better team in that game.
Yeah.
What I enjoy is you had those Calder odds of Zach, and there's a few comments about kind of some other plays there. You can kind of see like how they think about doing this. There's a New York Ranger listed at 200-1 for some reason in this, who's currently A, suspended, and B, not even in the NHL. So even having him listed is kind of funny.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, I don't know if Alber's
Hold on,
expertise
okay.
is something we should rely on here. I feel like he's got like a Rucker McGroarty like rookie of the year ticket or something.
It was Cutter.
Cutter.
It was Cutter. That's dead.
Um,
Just putting that out there. That one is that's dead.
Moretto, this is not a opposition to your point on Hutson Calder. I completely agree with your argument. This is a question for you. It's seriously actually wondering what you think about this. Is there obviously it's hard too because Celebrini is a forward and Hutson is a defenseman. So what he's doing as a defenseman here is unbelievable. Is there an element to this that is being propped up because his team is much better than what San Jose Sharks are? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. So maybe to an extent, I think that it's hard to say because like the Habs weren't good 3 weeks ago,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Like
fair.
they were terrible. And like yeah, I think Celebrini, obviously, if Celebrini was playing in a better situation, it would help his cause for sure. Like to play in a 10-30
Like
when
I'm more so talking about like just flat out like point totals. Like if we just look at actual point production, right? Like
right.
that's kind of where I'm going to. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I mean maybe, but like Celebrini has also had every opportunity to rack up the points when he's been in the lineup because he started the year obviously power play 1 and like everything like that. Hutson, it took time for him to get into that role, but
Yeah.
like yeah, I think there's definitely an element of like Celebrini's playing with a lot of nobodies up there. And Hutson
Yeah.
does have more support in at least that like those top 2 lines now, or like he had, I mean, Hutson did have a number of points, like 5-6 points that were just slide the puck 7 feet over to Line, who just absolute bomb. So like that stuff like that definitely helps for sure. But he's also had a lot of, missed opportunities. I'm very curious to see how he goes over the second half of the year because you can tell guys are starting to, it's a big thing. Like it's very underrated and not talked about enough where like you have to learn how to play with someone like that. Like it's very like it's not just like a snap and like it's easy and like all of a sudden you're just like ready to go. A guy like that is like you want to sort of get a feel for how he's going to play the game, and like you're not necessarily knowing when to expect passes or where he's going to be or where he pops up. So to learn how to play with someone like that is pretty is something that takes some time, and I think that you can tell right now the team is starting to learn how to play for him. Like there's guys that are they know he's going to rush the puck, and there's guys that are now like are going to cover for him. Whereas early in the year, it's like they're not used to a guy that's going to try and like pull a Quinn Hughes or whatever and go sort of end to end and set up a chance. And there's not guys covering for him, and it leads to a goal the other way or something like that. Or guys just aren't ready. Like I said earlier, guys just aren't ready for a pass. So like I feel like you can tell guys are starting to get a feel for how he's going to play and how he likes to play with the puck. And I think that's going to honestly lead to more points the rest of the way. Like he's got 30 right now through his first, I don't know if they played 41 games or something close to that, though. It's close to the halfway mark. So he's on pace for like 60, 62 points. If I had to take an over under on that right now, like 61 and a half, I would take the over because I think that he will get more points as long as he stays healthy over the second half of the year than he did the first, just because A, increased opportunity, and B, like guys learning how to play with him, which is honestly, I think that's very significant.
Yep. I think that's fair. Alber, is your mic by any chance sitting directly on your keyboard?
I think his keyboard is his mic.
No, and I haven't touched my keyboard since we got on the show.
That sounds
I'll be honest.
That just can't be true. That just can't be true.
I never use the keyboard on the show, basically.
Nah, I mean, we might have to go to fucking video review.
Yeah.
That might be that might be a lot.
I mean, the mouse, maybe the mouse, but no, I haven't touched the keyboard since we jumped on.
I'm gonna pull something up. You might get exposed here hard, Albert. I'm sorry, but you might. Before we get into games here today, maybe before we go to video review to close out the show, you guys know it. Yeah, I know. It's not
really
me.
Sound like that?
Yes.
It could be the mouse. I haven't touched the keyboard.
We'll see. I don't know what you could possibly be doing on that mouse, but I'm going video review on your ass. Before we get into any of the games in the video review here today, you guys know it. Hockey season is in full swing, and with FanDuel, you can turn a little hunch into a true power play. FanDuel is the hottest same game parlays found on the Parlay Hub. Lace them up and follow your bets, player prop tracking, or bet on the fly with the Pulse. Make every NHL watching experience more with FanDuel, North America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers kick off the season with $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Just place any $5 bet and you'll get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Please play responsibly. You must be 19 plus, physically located in Ontario. Gambling problem? Call 1-866-531-2600. That's 1-866-531-2600 or visit connectsontario.ca. Okay, let's get to the games here. Maybe while we're ripping through this, I can go back and find that Alber, because there's gonna be some damning evidence. I can't wait till you see this one. Let's start here with the games tonight. Going over to the FanDuel screen, we're gonna go top to bottom on what they've got listed at games, and we're gonna start with the Dallas Stars New York Rangers game. Stars -176, Rangers +146, 6.5 the total, -105 over, -115 under. We started off the show here today with Moretto's Habs. Alber, we're starting off the games with your Rangers.
So jumped on here and said, we're going to bet the Rangers tonight. Was expecting Chris Kreider to play. Someone said Rempe was called up. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting Kreider to play. So as of right now, we are not going to bet the Rangers. I do think there's going to be a lot of spots to take them here, especially kind of with them playing a little bit better and them kind of being priced as they're still trash, right? Like +145 at this point kind of says like they're not playing any better than they really have been, where I do think they are. I think Kreider's a pretty big piece to miss against Dallas, even if he hasn't been playing too well. Just for the fact of like, without him, the Rangers' depth goes away really quickly. Like you're going to have Johnny Brodzinski back in the top 6 playing with Mika. And that's just not great. If this number does go back up,
which part of that is not great? The Brodzinski part or the Mika part?
Because the fact that Brodzinski is the top 6, the fact that Mika's still on the roster, the fact that our defensive pair should be like AHLers, the fact that Igor's on IR, the fact that I have to go to this game, there's a lot of bad parts to this. The fact that you're going to come on and gloat about the Dallas Stars somehow and they win 5-1 inevitably. There's a lot of bad here.
Maybe you're going to get another nice hat out of it tonight, though.
No, I wanted one. We pushed for them. We're not getting no gear tonight.
That's
which sucks. I like all that. I like all that special night gear that we got.
Can't afford hats for ice shovelers. Jesus, what a rough state of affairs.
Yeah, what is going on?
They've been overpaying us for a few months by mistake, so they made up for that with no special night gear.
Oof.
Yeah, I was hoping to maybe get behind the Rangers here. Wanted a little bit better of a number. Was hoping Kreider might be in for this. Pass for me.
Moretto, are you passing as well?
Yeah. I will agree that I think maybe there will be a couple spots to get on the Rangers at one point, because like the market is very, very the market has fully caught up to how bad this team was for a while. And has stayed there, but they are playing a little bit better. Like I will say that. So yeah, I think maybe there are going to be spots. I don't think this is one of them, even though the market is pretty bullish on the Stars here. Only way I was looking for this game was an over. And I didn't really want to play it because I just don't really trust the Rangers to kind of hold up their end of the bargain, and the over got hit a little bit, which is perfect. So now I have really no interest at all.
Okay. So nothing in that game. You guys ready here?
Oh, yeah. All of a sudden, you're just like ready to go. A guy like that is like, you want to sort of get a feel for how he's going to play the game. And like, you're not necessarily knowing when to expect passes.
Oh, I did send a message. I sent him one message.
So to learn how to play with someone like that is such a novel.
Yeah, you sent a fucking paragraph.
It's a 2-line message I sent to somebody. Yeah, I just saw that.
Yeah, come on, Alber. Come on. See what I'm saying? It's there. We weren't making this up.
We're 1 for 1 on challenges this year.
flag on the play, and we got his ass. There you go. And typing in Rangers nuclear codes. Yeah, pretty much. All right, there you go. Let's get to the next game here. Tonight, that was Dallas, New York. Let's go to Edmonton, Boston, where the Oilers are minus 150, the Bruins plus 125. 5.5 total on FanDuel, minus 138 over, plus 112 under. Moretto, Oilers unders. Are we going back to it?
Yeah, I think so. I bet it. I don't like love it, but like I do like it. Like we bet the same total at minus 105 a few weeks ago in Edmonton, and it got home. I don't think much has changed. Bruins have been in some pretty high scoring games lately, but like their approach hasn't changed at all. They've given up more, but that's generally against the lesser teams, which they've been known to do. They play a little bit more open against the teams like the, Rangers, Isles, Columbus, that sort of team. And, it leads to them giving up more 5-on-5 and generating more. But against like the Leafs, Washington, the couple games, and that Oilers game, like they were very strong at 5-on-5. That Leafs game, a little bit misleading. Swayman -2 GSAX, and then the 2 empty netters, like that kind of, a little bit of a rougher Swayman game, plus the empty netters leads to like 6 Leafs goals. So I don't necessarily think that suddenly makes this Bruins team an over team. Yeah, offensively, they're still kind of finding goals harder to come by. I do think, Swayman has been playing better of late, though, despite that Saturday game. So hopefully he can get a bit of a rebound here. And, the Oilers, they haven't dipped at all defensively. They're at the same level they were heading into that last meeting. They are generating more, but for the most part lately, that's been against really bad defensive teams. Like you look at games against Ottawa, Boston, Florida, those numbers dip quite a bit. So I think Boston should be able to tighten things up here. Oilers should be content following suit, and we will get Skinner versus Swayman. So yeah, under 6, let's do it.
Under 6 minus 110, good for you here?
Yep. Yeah, that works.
There you go. Under 6 minus 110, courtesy of Moretto. Alber, agree, disagree? What are you thinking on this under?
I'd lean that way. I haven't played anything here. I annoyed that I missed the early Oilers numbers. That got hit pretty hard. Was looking at like minus 130s and stuff yesterday. No, I agree with that. I do think that the Bruins are kind of going to change their style of play here, knowing that they kind of have to slow the Oilers down and that they just don't have the ability to kind of get into a run and gun game with them. And they probably can't keep up if it does become that. From the Oilers side, like I think they can kind of suffocate this Bruins team if they want to. I think that's probably the way that they want to play as well. So yeah, I agree with it. I just haven't played it.
Okay. Hurricanes, Lightning, Carolina minus 118, Tampa minus 102. Again, another 5.5 here on FanDuel, minus 134 over, plus 110 under. 6 is elsewhere. Albert, back to you. Carolina, Tampa. Is there anything that's interesting you right now?
I have nothing here. I would have liked to maybe fade the Lightning, but they've started to pick it back up a little bit after having a little bit of a lull there. I may end up on Carolina, honestly. This is just a really short number. And especially, again, kind of we talk about like what the market's going to do. I would not be surprised if the Canes ended up getting hit at some point here. Just as kind of like a very short road favorite. I think we've seen it many times this year where they're kind of priced in this minus 110, minus 120 range. And then they're just going to get hit around 11 o'clock. So as we're going to sit on the show, I'm pretty sure they're going to get hit. So it's something that I may end up doing. I just haven't done it yet.
You let me know, but while Albert doesn't have anything right now, Moretto, do you?
I do. Don't necessarily lock it in yet because of exactly what Albert talked about, but
yeah,
the opposite side of this, where Carolina does take money every game. I like Tampa in this spot. I like them at plus money, so I am fine playing. There's like plus 102 sitting there right now, which I like. But like, I do think it's very possible we get a better number still, just because of the fact that Carolina does seem to take money every game. So like, I'll hold off on that for now. And either way, I will be betting this. So we will lock it in at one point. If by some chance we see Tampa start to take our money, then we'll step in there and I'll let you know. And we can just track it. But I'll hold off for now and just let's see if Carolina does take money at one point throughout the show and we want to wait a little bit to track it. So yeah, Lightning, we talked about the Devils yesterday. Lightning had the same thing. They went out west and had that California road trip and went 0-3. Same story as the Devils, though. Like, there was nothing to be concerned about. Their play didn't dip whatsoever. They were really, really good in those games. They just got stonewalled by some great goalie performances, which same thing that happened to the Devils. I'm still really high on this team. I love the level they've been playing at pretty much all season. They've been very consistent. Doesn't necessarily mean it's always translated in wins, but like, you know what sort of performance you're going to get from them. And yeah, this is a Canes team that's playing really well. Also somewhat not getting the results similar to Tampa, but their play hasn't really dipped. So like, yeah, I understand why the number is where it is, but I just think that this Tampa team continues to be a little bit undervalued. They're not quite getting the respect they should in the market. This is a team that is right there among like the top 5 teams in NHL. Like, they are at the same level as this Canes team. They're at home here. Obviously, like a bit of maybe urgency after those 3 losses. So I do like them at plus money. I'll just wait a little bit here to see if maybe we do get a slightly better number.
Okay, we'll wait on that one. You guys tell me if anything comes up as the show goes on, and we'll jump in. We can act on it here. Sens Red Wings next. Ottawa minus 120. The Red Wings plus 100, 5.5 total, minus 128 over, plus 104 under. Moretto, your team jumped ahead of these Senators and the Red Wings yesterday, getting themselves into that playoff spot that Money is so desperately looking for the Sens to get into, as he's got a head-to-head with both of you guys. But what are you thinking here tonight in this game, and one-off with the Sens and the Red Wings?
So these don't typically go well, but I have 2 bets in this game. And usually when that happens, that is an absolute disaster.
I think last year, our first 11 or something, which made 22 bets, went like 4-18 or something.
It was wild.
When I did that math this summer.
New year, 2025 is the year of confidence, though. This is a 2-0.
Yes.
I like the Wings, and I like the over if you can get me a 5.5 minus 120.
Can do.
Okay, beautiful. So the Sens are all over the map. Obviously, they had that rough start to the year, turned things around. Now they're a mess again, playing some pretty bad hockey. And like, they can't just blame the Ullmark injury, because that hasn't necessarily been the issue. They're just not playing well. 47% expected goal share at 5-on-5 over the last 10. They were absolutely dismantled by the Blues and the Stars in their last 2 games. It's been a rough end to this road trip. They've dropped out of the wild card spot, as you mentioned, and like, Detroit is one of the teams that's closed the gap. They've won 4 in a row now under McClellan. They're playing better. Just 2 teams trending in opposite directions right now. Sens do not have the goaltending. They defensively have been struggling. They've got some now injuries on the back end that they're dealing with, and they're struggling to generate a little bit. So yeah, 2 teams trending in opposite directions. I think this is a hashtag wrong team favored situation. Sens market loves the Sens, though. So I get why the number is where it is, because this team just gets so much support every game. So I can understand it, but I disagree with it. And in terms of the over, it's just a case of this can't be a 5.5. Like, it just can't. I know that the Sens are an under team, but like, they have been leakier defensively. Wings are scoring more goals. I still think that's going to regress because they aren't generating a ton of 5-on-5. So like, yeah, maybe this is going to be a lower event game of 5-on-5, but the power play has been scorching hot. Sens power play is really good. And neither team's good on the penalty kill, and neither team has great goaltending right now. So like, it just cannot be a 5.5 game. That's it. I typically, like, I do put a lot of stock into 5-on-5 play, and I do think this could still be a lower event game of 5-on-5, which doesn't necessarily fit the mold of like an over that I would play. But it's just, with this goaltending matchup and these special teams, I just do not think that this can be a 5-on-5 at 5.5. This has to be a 6. So yeah, I played the over.
Okay, so over 5.5 minus 120, and Red Wings money line plus 102 we add here. Alber, anything else to add to these? You agree to this one?
We can double best bet the Red Wings. I fully disagree with the over. Not enough to bet the under. I just don't. I get that neither of these teams can keep the puck out of the net, but I don't think either of these teams can score any goals. And I think when they kind of look at it, like I think both teams kind of go in knowing that if they do not play well defensively, the other teams are probably capable of it. But like, we just can't see these teams finish at all. So I think, like, unless you kind of get that game where goalies just can't make a save, like, to me, this is going to be a very low event game. So kind of similar to last week when we were talking about, like, I think it was the Ducks and the Jets game where I'm saying, like, all right, to feel good about an under, you basically need both goalies to play really well. For me, I look at this game, and for this game to go over, like, you pretty much need, I think, one goalie just to play like dog shit, which is obviously very possible. I can't do it. And these are two teams that I think I tend to look under with anyway. The numbers, I think, in the right spot on the total. As far as the side goes, I agree. I think this should be like flipped in the Red Wings' favor. I know we've been anti-Senators all year. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's bad. The Red Wings suck. I don't have much in support of them, but like I do think they should be favored versus Ottawa.
You know, we haven't asked Alber about here today.
What?
How do you feel about the savior coming to New York, Arthur Kaliev?
So I think he's better than Johnny Brodzinski. I do like it. So I'm not going to sit here and say like, oh, he's going to turn the season around or any of that. I like the move because especially where they are, there is a chance that they kind of sell a lot of these UFAs that are coming. So I do think there's at least spots on this roster for someone
build for the future.
Does have some talent. Like to me, it's a zero risk move, right? Like what's the downside in it? Especially kind of where you are going to start to retool this roster. What's the harm in getting a guy for free who is talented and you're just going to give him an opportunity and see what happens? Like to me, it's just like it's a no risk. Okay, maybe he turns into a okay bottom six player or something, right? Like to me, there's no risk in it, and he does have some upside. So it's like that's the exact kind of move they should be making. I'm not going to sit here and say he's going to come in and score 20 goals the rest of the season or anything like that. Like there's every chance he comes in and is like Jake Leschyshyn last year and plays 15 games and has 0 points, but fuck it. Why not?
I was surprised that he fell that far. Like the teams above the Rangers didn't claim him.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like he's some great player, but like I think there's something there, and it's basically free to take a flyer on him. Like it's not like the Kings got rid of him because he sucks. The Kings he was hurt in training camp. So they weren't able to integrate him into the roster, and now they have guys that have taken that place, and now they have guys coming off IR like in Moore and Lewis that they need to get back on the roster, and they have a maxed out roster, so they just basically don't have space for him. So like that's why he's on waivers, and it wasn't a case of like he's not good. It was just we have no room for him right now, and you're getting him for free. Like it made sense. I was surprised that all those teams above the Rangers could probably use him, and they did not claim him, which was strange.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Rangers' worst forwards tonight who are going to be playing are Sam Carrick, Brett Berard, Johnny Brodzinski, Adam Edstrom, Jimmy Vesey. Like, he has more talent than any of those guys, I'd say. Like, Berard's been good, but Kaliev probably has more talent.
And Jimmy Vesey. Oh my God.
So it's like, again, like, what's the downside to it, right? Like, what is the worst that happens? He comes in and is useless. Well, you know what? They have that in a $9 million center already. So I don't think there's really a whole lot of downside to it. So low risk. Maybe he turns into a semi-useful player. I mean, that is what kind of happened with VC a couple of years ago is they signed him for, I think it was like the league minimum, and he came in and he was great and he was really good in the bottom six role. And now they brought him back for a couple of years. Fuck it. Why not? That's the attitude.
Fuck it. Why not? Fuck it, why not? Let's get to next game here today. Columbus, Pittsburgh. Blue Jackets plus 130. Pittsburgh minus 156. 6.5 the total on FanDuel right now. Minus 124. Over plus 102. Under. I'll go to you here, Moretto, on this one. Columbus, Pittsburgh. Any way you're getting involved in this game tonight?
No, so I got nothing on this one. Just two bad teams. Like the Jackets are on a nice little run here. But their underlying numbers are so bad. The Pens equally bad, their underlying numbers, but they just haven't been winning games. They haven't been deserving wins. So like, I think those are two kind of bad teams, which maybe you would take a flyer with the Jackets in that sense. But like, I still think the top of Pittsburgh's range is a lot higher. So I can kind of understand why they took a little money, why the number is where it is. And like this total is wild too now. Like, what are we looking at this point? 6.5. That has been juiced to holy hell. Like it's crazy. Yeah. I could only look at the under here at this price, like just because these are two teams that are really inconsistent on offense. Like I get that they're both very bad defensively and pretty erratic goaltending, struggle to get saves. So like I understand why the number is where it is, but like they also are very inconsistent at generating. You just don't know what you're going to get from either game to game. This pretty volatile one. With the way the price is going, like it's getting pretty high on Columbus. Like I can understand wanting to take a flyer on them. There's enough spots that I like on this card tonight that I'm good sitting this one out.
Albert, you want to sit this one out as well?
Nope, I'll take the flyer. Give me the Jackets.
There
I
you
just
go.
I can't really get to the Penguins laying this kind of number. So after this game, I'm happy to take it. I
Probably
again
wait a
touched on it
second
really
to
well.
lock this in. Seems like there's
Is
I'll
it
still
wait.
like
still
some
moving?
Pittsburgh money trickling in right now. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, wait it out, but like anything 130 and up, frankly, I'm good with Columbus. I didn't realize that it was still moving.
There is a 147 offshore too, which is crazy.
Yeah, my screen's definitely behind then perfect. Just kind of wait and lock and whatever. But again, 130 and up, like I'm good with Columbus. These two teams are so inconsistent that I see this number and I'm good to kind of fire with it.
Okay, I will wait a little bit. If
Yeah,
either of
let's
you
wait for it
guys
to
want to
settle.
also monitor that and let me know when it does settle and when to jump back in, let me know and I'll come back to it. But yeah, we'll be going on Columbus there then, courtesy of Alber. Next game to go to on the schedule here tonight: Leafs and Flyers. Toronto minus 134. Philly plus 112, 6.5 total on FanDuel, plus 104 over, minus 128 under right now. Alber, anything you're thinking in this one?
Sorry, can you go to Moretto first? I'm still looking at this Jackets number moving.
Moretto?
Just staring at the numbers moving. Yeah, so Zach, maybe just plug your ears for this one. I have a bet on the Flyers in this game.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know when the other shoe is going to fall for the Leafs, but regression is going to hit. I'm not saying regression to the point where like they're going to, like, again, this is not to like say that this is a bad team or anything like that. But regression is going to come for them. They're not going to keep winning games at the rate they are right now. It's hard to when you're playing the way that they are. Like, I don't know how far you want to go back here, but like we can go back 2 months, first week in November. That's just about the last 30 games. The Leafs are 29th in Corsi for percentage, 24th in expected goal share at 5-on-5. Like, those are not good numbers, and those are predictive stats. They're not everything, but they are fairly predictive. Only teams below them in the last 2 months in expected goal share at 5-on-5 are the Canucks, Wings, Rangers, Sabres, Hawks, Kraken, Sharks, and Ducks. So like,
Wow,
it's
what a
not
list the
good
Rangers
company.
are on there. My God.
Yeah, and they fit, they belong. I like that. I saying the Rangers in there doesn't actually like come. It's weird how it's like it doesn't actually come across as like surprising. It's like they just fit with those teams right now. That's how bad the perception has got with them. But yeah, over that same stretch, the Flyers are second. Like, even if you want to look at the full season, like since the start of the year, the Leafs are still below 50% in both metrics. Flyers are playing really good hockey, and they have been for a long time. Things have just been kind of breaking right for the Leafs for them to sort of win these games. Very timely scoring, maybe some bad goaltending performances, stuff like that. That's not to say that this isn't a good team, but they are playing a little bit over their heads. I think regression is coming for both of these teams. Negative regression for the Leafs, positive for the Flyers. I just really love the way this Flyers team is competing and playing at 5-on-5, and honestly playing at basically all strengths. It's just a matter of goaltending. That's what it comes down to. They just haven't been able to get the saves necessarily. They're hoping that maybe Fedotov is a guy that they can run with right now and start getting something going. I don't know whether he is or not, but like at one point, you just have to take this price with the team that's at home and playing that much better at 5-on-5. I would expect them to be able to dictate this game at 5-on-5 and have the better of play, and hopefully they don't get sewered by goaltending, which is obviously very, very possible. Like, Wall's been good, and Fedotov is, you don't know exactly what you're going to get, but I liked it more at the earlier numbers that were there, but obviously the Flyers have taken money kind of all morning. I still like it though. I would play this down to about 110, and there's 112s and 110 pretty readily available. So
Yeah, AS there also says, and to counterpoint, Zach, no real counterpoint, honestly. What Moretto said about how they're playing and any of the numbers and anything is the same shit that I've been seeing for the last like month and a bit here anyways. The only thing that's been strange, which you can't like put into a handicap of a game like this, is like they don't win these games in years past, right? Like, Moretto, how
for
often
sure,
do we come
for
on here
sure.
and say like, oh, they've been getting outplayed like this, and then they're just losing those games, or now for some reason, for whatever reason it may be, they're finding a way to win. The only thing, which again would not be to counterpoint Moretto, it's like If the offense starts going here at some point, then it's going to flip the other way, right? Where we're going to be looking for the regression where it's going to come back down. I wonder if at some point the offense starts clicking or they start scoring on the power play. Could it just become that much more where these wins are no longer coming up and they're fluky? It's just like these deserving wins, because I'm watching these games. They're not generating enough at 5-on-5. They're not scoring and capitalizing on the power play. So if those things start to come, but that's a long-term conversation, not tonight against the Flyers in this spot. So no disagreement for me on that. I don't know. Alber, any disagreement for you?
No, I told you this when I first got on. Flyers, double best bet. I love the way the Flyers are playing, even when they've stepped up in class lately. Like, they played well when they've played LA, Vegas, Toronto the other day. They played well. Like, I do like the way they're playing a lot. Moretto touched on it with the Leafs. He watches every Leafs game as a Giant fan. Like, they're not playing well. Like, something's going to drop at some point here. Moretto did it before. I'm going to do it now. Let's take the over too. I agree with a lot of the Fedotov thing. So I think it's with the Flyers. Like, if you like the Flyers, I do think you probably also like the over tonight and their ability to score here. They've been generating against pretty much everybody lately. But at the same time, like, do I trust Fedotov? Not necessarily. So while I do like the Flyers here, probably down to, plus 105, plus 110. I like the over too. So now we got two of these.
What number are you looking for here? And then I'll let Moretto jump in with final point on this. But what number are you looking for?
Can you get a 6 minus 110?
There's like a minus
105s, 108s, 111s.
Minus 108 will do.
Sure.
We'll go minus 108. Moretto, any other points here for you?
I actually lean under the other way on the total. I'm not like anywhere near strong enough a lean to bet it. But I just think that, like, the way the Flyers play at 5-on-5, they really are able to sort of insulate their goalies a little bit, because I think they kind of have to, and that's the way they want to play. They don't want to give up a lot and get into these kind of higher event games, and the Leafs are content playing that way too. So just stylistically, I think it lends itself to an under. But yeah, I mean, goaltending wise, it is hard to trust the Flyers in that sense. So I can understand it at least. One thing I forgot to note here: the Flyers 2-4 in their last 6 games, with a 64% goal share at 5-on-5. 64% expected goal share at 5-on-5. That's crazy, and they're just running insanely bad right now. Like, there has to be some positive regression coming. Like, I don't know. It's basically like the opposite of what's going on with the Leafs, where they are playing so well and they just cannot find ways to win games. I do think it'll turn itself around here. So yeah, hopefully it starts tonight.
All right, let's go to next game here. Blues and Wild. St. Louis plus 112. Minnesota minus 134. 5.5 total. Minus 106 over. Minus 114 under. Moretto, anything interesting you here in this one?
Nothing that I wanted to bet coming into the day. Really didn't want to bet this game at all, but I think we're getting to a point where I'm going to have to come back on the Wild now, because they're down to like minus 122 I'm seeing at this point. Man, they opened like -1, like almost minus 150. And I thought that was obviously like they opened minus 160 on one book. Yeah, I think that was obviously wrong. I agree that St. Louis has taken some money. But like, to the point now that this has gotten to, I think that's insane. I've talked about this Blues team a bunch, where, like, when they step up in class, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but when they step up in class, they have struggled. They play well against the bad teams, and they beat the bad teams, the teams they're supposed to beat. The thing is, we haven't seen them step up in class for a while. Like, the schedule's kind of been a joke. This is obviously a step up here. Like, I know Kaprizov isn't playing. I understand that he's, as of yesterday, he didn't resume skating. I think it'll be a miracle if he played tonight. Definitely do not expect him in there. But like, yeah, he's maybe one of the most important players in the league to his team's money line. You could almost argue he is the most important, just given how much he does for them offensively, and like, how much he plays, how much they lean on him. Like, there's, it's obviously why he's right there in the Hart conversation. But like, we've gone so far the other way now, where this is being priced as like, they're being priced as they're not even a good team. This is still a very good team. Even without him in the lineup, they have a very good roster. They're getting healthy. Sounds like Goudreau and Zuccarello are both going to be good to go here. The only reason they were held out the other day was because they were dealing with the flu. Unless it's a Patrick Laine type flu that requires you to miss like 5 days and 3 games, then I think that he should be the Bulls should be good here. Yeah, I think this number's just gone way too far down. And at this point, minus 122, I'm good to sort of buy back on the Wild. I also lean over here. I'm not going to bet it just with Kaprizov out and stuff, but I lean over because the Blues do leak chances against good teams. And the Wild have not been as tight defensively as we saw them earlier in the year. I don't think this should be a 5.5 juiced heavily towards the under, but I'm just going to sit this one out because I don't like pain. I don't need the pain of betting an over 5.5 with these two offenses.
Minus 122 money line for the Wilds. Here we'll go courtesy of Moretto. Anything else for you here in this one, Alber?
Yeah, so initially you'd look at this, and for me, these are two teams that I would generally go under with 5.5 minus 115. Want no part of it. He touched on the step up in class for the Blues. Like, their schedule has been terrible, and on the other end, the Wild schedule has been really tough. So yeah, I do think we're getting a little short here on the Wild. Let's lock in another double best bet here.
Oh baby!
Now we can teach Moretto at some point how to say Kaprizov. But yeah, I mean, the Blues, if you look at the underlying numbers of these teams, you'd look at this and say, wow, the Blues have been really outplaying the Wild as of lately, which is why the context of who these teams have been playing is important. Like, okay, Minnesota has played Carolina, Washington, Nashville, Ottawa, Dallas, like Winnipeg recently. I know they played Florida recently. Like, they have kind of played this gauntlet stretch of teams. And then you look at St. Louis, and it's literally the opposite. It's Columbus, Chicago, Buffalo, Detroit. Like, so I do think it's such a change in class for both teams, and I do think the Wild are much better than this minus 122 price, even without Kaprizov.
There you go. I'll add that one in. For today, we got a few more games here to get to, and then we'll go to the anytime goal scorer.
Just
so
to
if you
address Connor quickly, I would say that anything under minus 130, I'd probably bet.
Yeah, which there was.
Drive minus 130, yeah.
Yeah. Also, if you guys are looking here right now or watching right now and you haven't already, send in your anytime goal score bets, like the stream here today, subscribe here to the channel, all that good stuff. We do appreciate all the support, but we'll get to the anytime goal score after we conclude with the game. So we've got a few more to go. Let's go Preds, Jets, Nashville plus 132, Winnipeg minus 160, 5.5 total, minus 130 over, plus 106 under here. Albert, start with you. What are you looking at tonight?
Let's go. Do we have goalie confirmation here yet? I may have missed it. Maybe the chat can help.
No, I don't think so.
So I'm going to hold off then, but I'm probably going to end up on this under if we get Saros and Hellebuck. I think it was last week these two teams played. The game had like 4 expected goals or something in it the entire
I'd be
way,
shocked if you didn't get that matchup though.
I agree. I think the game had like 4.5 expected
the last
goals
game, and Noonan just started the last game.
Yeah.
Hellebuck has only started 2 games in a row, and they haven't played since Saturday, and they don't play again until like Friday. So I think you're definitely going to get Saros and Hellebuck. I'd put that at like 99%.
All right, Moretto's talked me into it. Can we get under 6 minus 120?
We can do, just refreshing here. We can get you. Yeah, we can do an under 6 minus 120.
Let's do it. 2 teams I still have pretty dead under. We know this is how Winnipeg wants to play. I think they'll be able to help control the game. And with that, I think that lends itself to an under here. Don't really have a whole lot else to say. It was on basically the same price with the same teams a week or 2 ago. Lock it in again.
Moretto, what are you thinking?
I agree. I really agree. I haven't bet it. I'm still like,
he knows me talking about it, just sewered it. So that's why.
I think maybe that too. The Alber effect. I don't know if we need like 7 double best bets today. No, this is the 2025 0 confidence. So we're good. It's just, I'm just held off because I don't know, that the Jets feel like they're due for a big breakout game offensively. They've been generating a lot and they just haven't been able to kind of get the goals, but like they are coming. I think there's going to be a little bit of a breakout for them here. They were pretty great, and they've lost the last 3 games, but they were pretty great in all 3. Hellebuck's just had a few down starts in a row, so like that may be a little bit concerning, but like also I think that maybe he's it's just more noise than anything, and like he should be due for a bounce back here. A good spot to bounce back to against a pretty tame Preds offense. I really do agree. I'm not going to double best bet it right now, but like I mean, there's a good chance I probably end up on it at one point. I just haven't bet it yet. I'm just holding off. I was honestly what I was looking for right now in this game was a good Winnipeg number. We were hovering around like mid minus 140s. We even touched just under that at one point, and I was like hoping that the market would keep supporting the Preds like they have been doing. And then the Jets just got absolutely blasted, and I completely missed out on everything. So yeah, I got nothing here right now.
Okay, let's go. Calgary and Anaheim here. The Flames minus 134. The Ducks plus 112. 6.5 total. Plus 102 over. Minus 124 under here right now. Moretto, back to you. Anything in this game? Okay,
so I have a lot of bets today. This might be my favorite one. I love this under. I really, really love this under. I'm sure there are some people that thought I was about to just tee up the Ducks at plus 120 or whatever, plus 115, wherever they're floating at. Yeah, like maybe I'd lean that way, but honestly, I think the number is somewhat fair. Like the Ducks they've won 4 or 5, 7 of 11, whatever. Like I shouldn't say they're playing well. They're getting results because they haven't been playing well. Their underlying numbers are even worse than they were kind of going into that stretch. Like they're scoring all these goals, but their offensive numbers are honestly in the gutter. 5-on-5, they're generating nothing. Defensively, they've dropped off a little. I do think that's more schedule related though. And that also has to do with playing so much with the lead. Like, I think that's why they're giving up a little bit more, is because they've been playing from ahead so much, like against Tampa, against the Devils. Like these are teams that are chasing games and obviously are going to generate quite a bit. The reason they're still winning these games though, is they're getting some outstanding goaltending. Like this is the best goalie tandem in the league right now. I feel pretty comfortable saying that. And the Flames aren't far behind, honestly, with the play they're getting from their goalies. Like last 3 weeks, these teams are both top 5 in 5-on-5 save percentage. The Flames are number 1 in the league in that stretch. Full season, they're both top 5 in 5-on-5 save percentage too. Like this has been a constant for both teams all year. 2 really good goalies, no matter who goes in this game. I feel very comfortable that we're going to get good goaltending. I don't think either offense should be feared at 5-on-5. And, maybe defensively, not the strongest 2 teams, but like they've both been playing better. I don't agree with this being plus money 6 right now. I honestly think this should be heavily shaded to an under at 6, maybe even a 5.5 juiced towards the over. So I think there's a lot of breathing room on this. I really like this total. And now that I'm teeing it up like that, no, we're good. We're good.
No, this is the year of confidence.
Yeah.
This is the year of confidence.
Yeah.
Under 6 plus 102 we add here. Alber, you agree with this one?
Kiss of death. Yes. I like the under for sure, regardless of who starts in that here for Calgary. Would definitely like it a little bit more with the Wolf, as Vladar's definitely kind of tailed off a bit as of late. Ducks too. Tee it up. He kind of touched on the fact that he likes it. Let's play it. I don't like Calgary. This is kind of as simple as that. Like these are 2 very bad teams. I just think this number is a bit high. I don't think Calgary should be laying. I mean, we're at like minus 135, minus 140 at this point. Like I do think the Ducks are a little bit better than that. And he touched on the schedule for the Ducks. Like they have been competitive in these games and they've been winning some of these games, and they've played Edmonton, New Jersey, Winnipeg, Philly, Edmonton, Tampa. Like they've played this gauntlet of teams. So we like to talk about like steps up and steps down in class. Like I don't think it gets much bigger than going from those teams to now playing the Calgary Flames. So, yep, I think you can probably get like minus or plus 115 widely available. I know you can see some plus 120s out there. So, yep, yeah. Ducks and under.
We are absolutely firing here.
We're just going to fire.
Yeah, we are firing.
It's the year of fuck it. Fuck it, we ball.
The year of
that's
fuck
what
it.
The year is.
The year of confidence. Okay, final game here tonight. Vegas and San Jose. The Golden Knights minus 255. The Sharks plus 205. 6.5 total right now. Minus 105 over, minus 115 under. Alber, why don't you get us started on the last game of the night?
Under 6.5. Fuck it. Let's rock.
Any opposition, Moretto?
Yeah. Yeah, I do have opposition, but I didn't bet anything because it all depends on who starts in this game, I would say. I don't know that I feel comfortable with like if it's Askarov, I'm not betting the game. I just don't know if it's going to be Askarov because I think like he started 2 in a row and like they're not. I think they're kind of handling with him with kid gloves. Like he's more than capable of starting 3 in a row here. It's not like they're like on a back-to-back or anything like that. But like they've been, I think they're just hesitant to give him a big workload, and especially with that team in front of them. So if it's Askarov, I've got nothing. If it's Georgiev, I have an over.
Okay, because I'm trying to make sure before I lock this in if we're gonna have a head-to-head here. Yeah.
No head. There won't be a head-to-head on the show because we won't know.
Okay.
We won't have a goalie confirmation for a while.
Okay, so Alber, what number are you looking for here on this, and then you can continue your explanation again.
Minus 110 or better. Or sorry, minus 115 or better is fine.
Okay, sounds good.
So Vegas, when they step down and play these low teams, they're just suffocating them for the most part. Like they're not getting into track meets with the teams like Buffalo, with the teams like Calgary, with like those lower tier teams. They're just kind of suffocating the life out of these games. And as far as the Sharks go, like they had that period there where they were fun for a little while and they were kind of playing some of these higher event games. They can't generate any offense at this point. So when I look at Vegas, like that's a team that we know wants to kind of shut it down. And they should be able to do it, I think, against a Sharks team like this that just can't score at this point, frankly. So, yep, I'm good with the under here.
Okay. Any other thoughts for you in this game here, Moretto?
No, it's all goalie dependent for me. Like Vegas has been a little bit leakier. I don't know if necessarily the Sharks are the team to take advantage, and they do, have the ability to just sort of suffocate these games. But they're also like they've been content going out and just blasting some of these teams too. And like with Georgiev and net, like they can easily just score a bunch and then things get open. They don't play as tight defensively, and it becomes this kind of back and forth track meet game. And I think the Sharks, they do struggle to generate, but like they have the quality to still score goals when the opportunities present themselves. And I think this is a spot where they could, if the game opens up a little bit, and if Georgiev starts, I would think that it will. So again, I think they should go to Askarov here. There's no reason why they shouldn't be like, let's, this is our starter going forward. Like, let's play him as a starter. I'll give him a bit of a workload. It's not like he can't handle that. He's done that in the AHL. I just think that the way they're kind of handling him right now with like a couple games and then let's get Georgiev back in there. And I feel like maybe they want to get Georgiev going a little bit too, to give him some more work and not like let him just sit around the sidelines. So I'm just hesitant to believe that they will go back to Askarov here. And we just have to wait and see.
Okay. There you go. That'll do it for the best bets on the show here today. Recapping these, which you can do yourself over in the BetStamp app as Edgework HQ. We have a lot of bets. Let's go. Take a look here.
Just sweep the board today.
Yeah, might as well. Why not us? So, taking a look, we're going to go with Red Wings moneyline plus 102, Red Wings Sens over 5.5 minus 120, Oilers Bruins under 6 minus 110, Leafs Flyers over 6 minus 108, Flyers moneyline plus 112, Preds Jets under 6 minus 120, Wild moneyline minus 122, Ducks moneyline plus 121, Flames Ducks under 6 plus 102, and then the Golden Knights Sharks under 6.5 minus 115. So, that's your full card for today.
That's a full card.
That's a full card.
9-0.
Yeah, that's
8-0,
what is? Yeah, 9-0. I think that is for us here. Anytime goal scorer parlay.
A million games. We have to.
Yeah.
Hey Zach, I think this number's also settled. I didn't see it in there. Can we lock the Jackets in now too?
Oh yeah. I'm supposed to lock in Tampa as well. Oh boy, forgot about Tampa number. The Tampa number hasn't moved at all. Like Carolina hasn't taken any money. Tampa hasn't taken any money. So we didn't. It's not like we're getting the worst price. Waiting did nothing.
I think the Jackets pretty widely 135, 140.
Yep, I grabbed 135, and then Tampa. And what was the other one?
I think that's it. Tampa plus 102. Or anything plus money is fine. There's a plus 100 at FanDuel, I think, that we can go with too if you want. Go with that.
Okay, so there you go. We added two. We go to Tampa plus 102 and Columbus plus 135 also added.
11-0.
Good call, Alber. I forgot about that. I forgot. If we forgot to lock in Tampa.
Well, because they would have won.
I don't see a single loser on this card today.
No.
We should just lock in the Rangers and make it 12-0.
Mom
Just for
strip
Mike
for the
Vivian.
Flames, boys.
It is the mom strip for the Flames. I know. I did see that. That's good. That's good. We'll get a great defensive effort.
It is also the mentors trip for the Leafs.
Mentors trip.
Yeah, they brought like their brothers and dads and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't just like moms or dads.
Dad's trip, mom's trip. I don't. Very
Matthews brought Joe Thornton.
Very, very politically correct. Oh my god, I can't. Honest to. So on brand.
That's good. Do we lock in the hockey fights cancer night angle for the Rangers too, and just go 12-0?
I don't. I'm not betting the Rangers here, but it's up to you.
I know Mike Vivian will, so maybe he comes back in.
Okay, let's fire off some goal scorers here.
Yeah.
What are you guys thinking tonight?
We can get a banger no goal parlay too.
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now. Okay, let's start with the nose.
Just do the 4 at the top of the screen there. Jake Neighbors, Jonathan Huberdeau. Oh, 2 of them are in the same game though. Sorry, we can pivot to Duchesne.
Jake Neighbors, no goal. Yeah. Next is Huberdeau, no goal.
Neighbors, Huberdeau, Kyle Connor.
Okay.
And then Duchesne.
Because Zibanejad? No.
Dallas.
Zibanejad's hot, man. He scored in back-to-back games. Maybe we lock him in today to score.
Sound really confident in that.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Kyle Connor, no goal, and then Duchesne. Oh boy. Okay. This will put us at. Duchesne goes in. There's 4 legs in this one, plus 263. Oh. Neighbors, Huberdeau, Connor, Duchesne, no goal, plus 263. Okay. Let's get to the yes. Let's do a yes goal here. Let's go.
I got a Ranger tonight. Can I throw it in? I know this is he's not in the chat today, I don't think, but I know this is Sam Rothstein approved.
Okay, let's hear it.
Will Cooley, plus 360.
Okay, Will Cooley in. Anyone
you're
looking
best
at
line
here,
most
Moretto?
of the year. He's been really good for him. I think this number is a bit too high on him.
Give me Marco Rossi.
Fuck, there he is. Will Cooley, Marco Rossi. Do I gotta give one here as well?
Yeah.
Find one from the chat. Marco Rossi plus 270. Let's see. What is this guy at?
Do we like Sean Monahan?
William Nylander plus 160. 7-game drought. Ends tonight. He's been playing like shit.
Do we like
gotta come to an
30?
end.
Who? Do we like who?
Nature's 230, Monahan 210. Just kind of firing between games here.
We got Josh Norris from Connor in the chat. Anything you guys like the most out of those? What'd you say? Natchez, Norris.
Natchez was 230,
Monahan's
210, Draisaitl's 135. I probably like Hyman 220 better than Draisaitl 135, but
Moretto, any preference on those?
I mean, we have an under there, so
let's go Sens. Let's go Sens. We've got an over in that one.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Do it.
Norris, 240. Yeah. All right. There you go.
Why not?
Will Cooley, Marco Rossi, William Nylander, Josh Norris. There's your 4. $10 on this one pays you $1,494. So those are your best bets for today. This actually feels pretty good. This feels like this might be the one. Yeah, this is the one. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in here today. If you want to check all the bets that we've given out, you can do so in the BetStamp app as Edgework HQ. Make sure to head on over there. Moretto, Albert, thank you guys as always for stopping by here today to help break down tonight's games, give out best bets, and let us know about the state of your teams as of right now. So thank you guys as always. Make sure to hit that like button on your way out. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time for more picks and previews. Enjoy the games tonight. Good luck on your bets.